Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
What it do, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is your boy Pride, obviously here with that dude Mike, bringing y'all another.
Yo, Mike's by himself. What the fuck? I don't know. Shit. How y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Hey, Pride, welcome back.
So on my mouse, let me explain. So on my mouse, I got, if y'all see it, I got these side buttons, right? One of them is like a low-key back button. I forgot that I programmed it to be a back button. So yeah, when my middle finger hit it, and then it was like, all right, bye. And it's crazy because like that's the first time it ever happened to me.
Whatever. It's all good. I held it down.
You did. I was about to say fuck this mouse, but I really like it, so I can't talk shit about this mic. We got a great show for y'all, but we're gonna start it off immediately hot with Fuego. Now, Mike, this is something you wanted to talk about, right? Like you brought this up, right? And mind you, you're not crazy because I've seen a lot of people say this, right? I've seen a lot of people, right? So the Chicago Bulls, they're going down with COVID left, right, and center, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the most highly vaccinated teams in the league.
Fully vaccinated.
So they're fully vaccinated. Okay, good. Because I wasn't sure if they were fully vaccinated or if there were a couple guys, but so they're fully vaccinated. And there's this wild thing where, if I'm not mistaken, if I read it right, I think only Lonzo and Zach LaVine are the only ones in this wave that has no chance of being hit with it. They're the only ones who are safe.
Yeah, Caruso. I mean, as of right now, but I mean, you know, Caruso isn't doesn't have it either, as far as I know. But he's not there. He's injured right now. He's got a little hamstring thing going on. But yeah, other than that, like we really don't know, because Io played just a couple of days ago with LaVine and with Lonzo, so we'll see what happens. But it's been detrimental for sure. It's about 7 to 10 guys in total this season. And let me just say, Pride, Lonzo Ball or LaMelo Ball, Defensive Player of the Year, knocked out the entire Bulls roster. You know, they all got COVID first, gave it to us. Defensive Player of the fucking Year, man.
But with all that, the question you posed, and again, not just you, because, you know, like I said, a lot of people have felt this way. With all that stuff happening with the Bulls, does this make Kyrie Irving look any better or any worse?
Right. I think it speaks volumes to what, you know, the idea of Kyrie Irving not getting vaccinated meant. Now, obviously, there were a lot of other things said throughout Kyrie Irving's Instagram Live and throughout everything else with social media and everything, where he said he's trying to be the voice of the voiceless, and all that, and that doesn't really tie into it. But the overall idea of it is that he's not anti-vaccination. He's not pro-vaccination. He just wants a little bit more studies done on it. And from his point of view, if this doesn't prevent me from getting it, I trust my immune system, and I trust, this is him, not me. I keeping it a buck with y'all. It ain't lethal for me, but I got an autoimmune thing going on, so I ain't really fucking with that shit. I'll get the vaccine. I ain't taking that chance. Now, Kyrie Irving, you know, a man of health his entire life, a purebred athlete. You know, he's one of those guys that, you know, he's let's be real, Pride. He's far more healthier and fit than you and I. You would imagine that he'd be perfectly fine if he were to get COVID, knock on wood, but it definitely cements what the idea of it is that, you know, the NBA kind of made it feel like, Pride, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was the idea of, if we're all vaccinated, nobody in the NBA is going to get it. It wasn't that they gave a fuck about, you know, guys dying or not. Like, they didn't really care about that. It was just the idea
for the NBA.
Right.
Their concern was some of the places that we have, like, for instance, like New York, their concern was, what if Luka Doncic didn't get vaccinated? That's one big name that won't play in New York. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, the league isn't going to say that. They're going to say we value every guy on the rotation. You know what I mean? So their thing was, if the counties are starting to do it and are starting to force the vaccine, we kind of have to, as a business, we kind of got to go with them, because it's not like we can say, okay, no, F it, and then redo a whole bubble scenario. Because when we did that, the players hated it, the coaches hated it, you know, executives hated it, everyone hated it. You know what I mean? So when it came to the NBA, they were like, if everyone gets it, then the games will be able to continue and everyone will be able to play, you know, regardless of you getting it or not. So that so the NBA is really pushing it, but they're pushing it from the business side, not really from the let's all be all good side, you know?
And that's the thing now. You know, we talk about it a lot. What's up, Coach Dante? We talk about it a lot, though, with the variations. And now there's supposed to be this third variation coming out of Africa or wherever the bumblefuck, wherever the fuck it is.
There's always
it's everywhere. It comes. There's a new variation coming from everywhere. And this one is
at this point, I'm convinced there's an evil villain in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean who's got a dome under there who's releasing all this stuff. Like at this point, that's what's going on at this point.
But no, it's definitely something where, you know, reports are coming out, and this is not me talking as Dr. Fauci. This is me just talking from, you know, listening to the news, being a human being, that, you know, this form of it's basically Delta. It's got some crazy fucking name. I'm not even going to try to do it. But it's basically saying that they don't even think that the booster or the normal shot is going to stop you from getting it. So from Kyrie's perspective, I hear him. Like I get what you're saying now, is because And I always kind of did get what he was saying, because even though I am pro-vaccine, I think we all should get it. You know, the main reason that, you know, not to make it into a politician show, but the main reason that there are variants is because 13% of Africa is vaccinated. 13% of the Middle East is vaccinated. There's not enough people vaccinated, so these variations keep happening. Now, the biggest thing with that is, to Kyrie's point, you're saying we're all getting vaccinated so that we don't get COVID. That's what the league is telling Kyrie. Now, Kyrie's point is, if we're all vaccinated and getting it anyways, why the fuck should I get vaccinated? That's where Kyrie stands. So I do think this kind of cements Kyrie's argument to where, you know, I hear what you're saying. Like, we all should be vaccinated to, you know, prevent the spread. But it's fucking, look at the Bulls. 100% vaccination rate. Almost 100% got COVID rate. Like, we are like at 90% have COVID. Sorry,
fuck you, Iverson.
To beat the Celtics bad. Yeah, well, that's
I was ill up, bro. I'm at this point. I know that if we somehow turn it around and somehow become the number one seed in the East, we're getting bounced in the first round. That, you know what I mean? If we make it, we're getting bounced in the first round. I mean, if we're in the play-in, we're probably gonna get. If we make it out of the play-in, we're getting bounced in the first round. So I as a Celtics fan, I accept that reality, and now I'm just going through the motions of the season. That's all.
That's okay, bud. But you know, it's definitely though, to recap it all, it's eye-opening. To me, I still think everyone should be vaccinated. That's just me personally. I'm just sick of this shit. I really don't care about the political aspect of it. I'm just sick of it. I want it to die. I want it gone. Like, I hate it here. But it's definitely, I listen to Juice WRLD every night before bed and think about 2019. Like, that's but I just miss the old days so bad, bro. Like, I can't even walk down the fucking street anymore without being like, hey, maybe something's gonna happen today. But you know, it's crazy to think. So, Pride, I kind of wanted to ask you in turn, do you think that not the state, but the NBA itself should kind of stop slandering Kyrie in that way?
No. Nope. And I'm gonna explain why. By the way, before I go into it, if the state requests people to get the shots, the NBA team should follow, and they should, only because they're in there. That's really it.
I agree.
Let me explain to you my problem with Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Jonathan Isaac came out. This is why we don't talk about Jonathan Isaac, because Jonathan Isaac said, "Look, give me the research." Now, obviously, people are gonna say, "Oh, it's a talent discrepancy," but it's really not. Jonathan Isaac said, look, man, I don't know what's going on with it, and I don't agree with him. However, at least he gave me honesty.
Right.
He said, look, I don't know, and it is what it is. Kyrie Irving was like, I am the voice of the voiceless.
That's okay? Right. That's where I said what he said, like that whole 9-minute thing, only like 2 minutes of that is validated by what happened to the Bulls and happened to other people. The rest of it is
that's my only thing with it. Like me personally, I believe, you know, when you say I'm doing this to be a voice of the voiceless,
right?
Okay, but in order to be a voice of the voiceless, you need to use your voice as well. You know, that's like I'm a fight for the working man, but that means you gotta fight. That's kind of my issue with Kyrie Irving. Now, the problem is this. I don't want to say this without being mean, but this is the only way we can get it across. For all the morons out there, and I say this with 110% disrespect, please hear me out. I say this with straight disrespect.
Talk to him.
A vaccine does not prevent it 110%. If I ask you what a vaccine does and you tell me, oh, it doesn't do, you know, it completely protects you, right. You are what I disrespectfully refer to as a moron. Right. A vaccine has two purposes. First and foremost, the purpose is to reduce your chances of getting it. And two, if you do get it, to reduce the effects of the symptoms.
Right.
I'm going to say that one more time because that's exactly, it's a flu shot. It's just like the flu shot. By the way, to the same morons that say, oh my God, they keep switching up the COVID vaccine. Did you know every single year you've never gotten the same flu shot 2 years in a row?
Yeah, it's always a different variation. It's a different flu every year, isn't it?
Every single year.
Right.
You know what I mean? By the way, Malk, what it do, baby?
Oh man, Malk, bro. Malk's the coolest dude I've ever met in my fucking life.
What a ghoulie. But my thing is, look, when it comes to this thing, I don't think I don't think, honestly, for me, when it comes to Kyrie, this is not at all comparable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Comparable in what sense? In
the fact that this makes Kyrie look better. You know, because I've seen people, I'm not saying you're saying it. Some people are trying to say it makes him look better. I'm in the position where it doesn't make him look better, doesn't really make him look worse.
Right.
Frankly, to me, he's not really it doesn't really affect him. Because here's the problem with Kyrie. Kyrie Irving wants to do an unpopular decision and get a popular reaction.
Right.
That's the problem with Kyrie, you know? With his do I hate Kyrie? I don't hate Kyrie. I don't hate Kyrie at all.
Kyrie's been getting under Pride's skin for a little bit, but it's not.
Because for me, it's
more. I'll speak for Pride. I can speak for Pride. I think it's more frustration over.
Yes, it's frustration.
And
with
definitely
me.
The Boston.
Yes.
And definitely the Boston's.
Yes, I mean, okay, the Boston thing that angers me. I'm not even gonna lie. Right?
Yeah,
but in this situation, it's frustration.
Right.
Because you're telling me I'm doing this, you know, for the working man, and then you go 0 dark 30. Right. It's like we don't hear from you until you get bored one day and then decide to go back, you know, on your whatever social media you want to use. And to me, that's really my problem when it comes with Kyrie, you know, like, don't tell me you're fighting for the working man. Then when you got to fight, all of a sudden be like, yeah, I got to go do something else. You know what I mean?
And that's where I think what he said got misconstrued. You know, what I really heard when I watched that a couple months ago, what was it, October? I want to say that came out very early in October. It was a situation where I heard, you know, what Kyrie's trying to do is show that if people are trying to force you to get vaccinated, don't. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to show that even the highest of hierarchies can get this situation. And that's where he tried to say it. Now, the choice of words that Kyrie said made you sound like Martin Luther King, made you sound like someone doing Black Lives Matter, made you sound
Malcolm X up here.
Like you tried to sound like Malcolm X, you tried to sound like a pariah. And that was the biggest problem to me. Was the wording of it. I understood what he meant, but you understand, and I know, Pride, like you and I have said things, and Pride, you especially have said things. Let's be real here. On the network and in other places, and just in life.
I have. I've threatened to fight somebody on there before. Not gonna lie.
Not even.
By the way, the offer still stands. I'm not backing down from it.
Pride, we're not doing this 2 weeks in a row. But
my bad, you got to coach. My bad. I'm out.
Right. It's a conversation of, you know, Pride has a commercial on the ASAP network.
Yes, sir.
Of something that was misconstrued in how he said it and how he worded it. Now, what now, if you're like me, and that, this is no shot at Pride or anybody who doesn't believe in what Kyrie said, I kind of try to elaborate off of what people say and try to think of more than one version of how they meant that. Because, you know, ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, and a man named Freddie Henderson will definitely take exactly what you said and put it everywhere. Now, no shot at Freddie, but it's facts. It's facts. Like, it's definitely something we all do, though. Like, we pay attention to what people say, and the second they say it, we hold them to that stature. Now, did he mean exactly what he said? I don't think he meant that from like a social justice type of way. I just think he meant it as, you know, I'm going to show people that they shouldn't be afraid to not get vaccinated. Now, how it came out was, I'm going to be leading the march and the anti-vaxxers, and that's what led to the Instagram Live and so on and so forth. But I do think, Pride, I agree with you in that point, in that regard of, I don't think this hurts Kyrie. I don't think this makes it better. But I think it definitely brings a point across to where people are having a conversation about it. Like, okay, well, Kyrie understands, and we all understand that this isn't a cure. That's the difference between the key word of vaccination and cure. Right. It's the simple fact, though, that Kyrie's trying to say is, if it's not a cure and I don't have the research for it, I don't want it yet. Now, that's what Kyrie's really trying to say. He just went about it the wrong way and stayed silent for too long, whereas Jonathan Isaac said it straight off the bat.
And that's my thing. Like, Kyrie Irving was making an unpopular decision, but wanted a popular reaction.
Right. Isaac understood.
He knew. He was like, look, I'm going to catch shit. It is what it is. I'm just keeping it a buck and letting y'all why I'm not taking it. You know? Right. Again, I disagree with Jonathan Isaac. However,
I do as well.
At least he came out and said, hey, yo, look, I ain't going, there's no if buts or coconuts. This is what it is. And for me, if you're doing that, it's easier for me to respect you than if you say something. And by the way, because Mike, you said basically it was misconstrued. My thing is, bro,
I think it was, but it was definitely his fault. It was definitely his fault.
Because the thing is when you come out and say, I want to fight for the working people, you know, when you say that, it's like you're inviting it. You know what I mean? So that's why, to me, the way I looked at it was, so you want to fight for them, but at the same time, you don't. It was this weird thing. But again, I genuinely believe this comes down to one specific word that people just don't know the definition of, and it's vaccine, right? Like, if you go to the, let's say, you know, like condoms, right? Like condoms. Basically, well, my dad should have wore the night he fucked my mom, so I would have been conceived, right? Like a condom, right? They say it literally covers you. It covers your male genitalia, and they don't even, they still don't have the balls talking about, oh yeah, it's 100% effective.
99.9.
When you get an IUD, for the odd ladies out there, that thing they jam in you to stop you being pregnant. Even though on a technicality it blocks the passage, do they say 100%?
No.
So my thing is, it's just weird for me, for when we got those two things, and people believe in those wholeheartedly, but then when it comes to a vaccine, it's just weird to me. And I genuinely believe a lot of this controversy around the vaccine, I genuinely believe it'll end once people understand the definition.
Right.
If we're gonna be honest,
it'll never end. I don't think. I think people.
No. I'm just talking. Well, okay, you're right. It will never end, but we'll be able to get closer. You know, if people understand. You know,
without a doubt.
But when it comes, like I said, when it comes to Kyrie, I'll be honest. I don't think it makes him look good.
No,
I don't think it makes him look worse. I just think it's separate, because had he came out and said, you know, and honestly, I don't even care what he said, it wouldn't have mattered, because I haven't met a single soul. The only people who say that use this talking point are people who are against the vaccine.
Right.
But people who are in favor of it, no one has ever said it's 100% effective.
Right.
Because I'm be honest, no vaccine really is. If we're gonna keep it a stack, you know?
No.
Like, you're not just gonna get it and all of a sudden be poof, you know? Like, you need to get it, and then on top of that, develop the antibodies. And then on top of that, you need to have children who then have it so you can pass it along. So that's kind of, you know, that's a big part of it.
It'll
you know what I mean?
Generations before this shit's over.
Exactly. So, but when it comes to Kyrie, just the way I look at it, like, I've seen people kind of say, oh my God, applaud to Kyrie. And I'm like, for what though? Like,
right.
he hasn't, I'm like, did he come out and like all of a sudden clear the record? Like, what am I missing?
My thing was really when Kyrie said I'm the voice of the voiceless, I think he should have said I'm the face of the voiceless or the face of the faceless, really, because everyone's afraid. And this is just me personally. If you said the face of the faceless, I feel like it's that point of, okay, well, I'm the poster boy of I'm not getting vaccinated.
Yes. Now, and if he had said that, we're having a completely different conversation.
Right, because the face of the faceless is really just, okay, well, everyone at work's going to say, no main star is not getting vaccinated. And they'll say Kyrie Irving didn't. And then Jonathan Isaac didn't. Andrew Wiggins tried to be like that, but he's a bitch. But it's definitely something where come on, dog, your religion, and then 2 days later it wasn't.
Honestly, like yo, dog, do better.
I mean to be disrespectful like that, but
no. Andrew, I was saying when it comes to what Andrew Wiggins did, on God was the funniest 180. I think
he was like, my religion, and they were like $180 million, and he was like, fuck that,
bro. I'm like, and people go, oh my God, when Kyrie Irving has to take it, it'll be the funniest thing in the world. I'm like, yeah, if you think that's the funniest thing in the world, you'll literally miss Andrew Wiggins literally changing his mind in less than 48 hours, G.
But yeah, no, the face of the faceless or something like that definitely makes sense. Now, to be the voice of the voiceless and not be voicing about it, and especially in Kyrie's stance, because if you're an anti-vaccinator, or you stand on the anti-vax side, that's the voice of the voiceless. Like that's the people where you could stand on. Kyrie's not anti-vaccination. He's not pro. So really you don't have a voice because you don't have an opinion.
Exactly.
And that was the biggest problem, I think, for me, where I was just like, I understood what you were saying, but you should have understood. And he shouldn't have to do this. This isn't how the world should work. We shouldn't be taking exactly what people say and saying, nope, that's what you said, and you have to run with it. You have to own this the rest of your life. Like there definitely could have been follow-up questions about what did you mean by voice of the voiceless. But again, Kyrie doesn't want to fucking talk to anybody. So that just proves the point again to where it's like, I just wish you hadn't have said that and you would have just said like, I'm the face of standing up for what I believe in rather than I'm the voice that people are going to hear. Like, because you're not. I haven't heard from Kyrie since he made that video. And the only person that's saying the name Kyrie Irving is Stephen A. Smith because he won't release his junk. But it's definitely a situation. I hear where he's coming from. I definitely do. I still get vaccinated at the end of the day. But with all these variations, fuck it, because who knows? A year from now, we might be saying we have no vaccinations and we are back at square one, all hiding in our house.
By the way, the Bulls are so down bad right now that Alex Caruso is actually going to play.
Yeah,
he's actually going to play through his hamstring injury.
So his hamstring injury was only 3 to 4 games, and so far he's missed 3. So it depends where he's at.
For me, hamstrings, I don't play with that. No. Yeah, I don't play with hamstrings. For me, when I hear a hamstring injury, I get scared.
That's just terrifying. I've had one. It's terrifying.
100%. Like me, like because honestly, I pulled my hamstring. Swear to God, every step I felt like it was just gonna go.
Yeah.
Swear to God, every step I was like, "Yep, this is it."
You ever have it? Not to get off topic, but like I've repeatedly fucked up the same hamstring because it never heals properly.
Ever. It's never the same.
I would always have it. I'd be hooping or I'd be at the gym or even in my stride during baseball. Sometimes I'd just be taking my stride and mid-stride, I'd be like, this is it. Like, this is the moment I'm about to go down. Like, and like, it's all right. It's never the worst as it is the first time. But it's
just that fear.
Right. That
it's like, cause me, like I'm a righty, right? So it happened on my right leg, right? So when I load up, and I feel it,
right?
And I'm like, all right. End of my career.
Mine was left. I'm a lefty, but
yeah. So it's your plant foot.
I thought that shit. Right. I was like,
it's your plant foot. And on top of that, not only that, because I play outfield. Not only is it when I'm batting, when I'm doing my crow hop, I feel it too. Right. So it's like, and that's one thing I always tell people when it comes to hamstrings. I'm not saying it's the worst injury. But it's one of those lingering injuries.
Right. It's one of those. It always bothers you. Like I had like contusions to me. Like I had a contusion in my my left bicep from the outfield. Dude, like even after all the, fucking, what are they called? All the Tylenols and all the ibuprofens and everything, that shit was still always inflamed after every game. Like it reoccurs. It's the worst.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there are times like on my right bicep, like down here.
Yeah.
You'll see it actually look bigger sometimes because like
yeah.
it's to the point that and it looks like I've just been like jerking off.
Dude, it's hilarious, bro. It's hilarious.
Wild, bro. Yeah,
like I was like a sophomore in high school and I looked swole as shit.
Yes.
Like I'm not even that big, but like my left arm was huge and everyone was like, "Damn, Mike, you working out?" And then they saw my right one and they were like, "Or you're beating your meat."
Off. Yeah, bro, that's how it be. Listen, man, that's how it be, bro. And like I've always hated it because like I said, it's always lingering. Those lingering injuries, I can't stand.
It's the worst.
Yeah, but when it comes to Kyrie Irving, the whole thing when it comes to the Bulls, I don't think it matters in terms of how he's looked at. I don't think it matters or doesn't matter. I think it just he's just in a whole separate equation.
I think though, Pride. Let's be real here.
Go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but I kind of want to not only what you're about to say, but I want to further it with this for you. Do you think we might be seeing another shutdown very soon? This is bad. Like, this is the worst it's been since Rudy Gobert.
I'll be honest. Do I see it coming? No. Because I say no, and I have a couple caveats.
Right.
First and foremost, I have to hope and pray that the players understand that a shutout or shutdown is imminent, right? They need to understand that, right? That's one. Two, I need them to be logical. And what I mean by that is I don't need some guy saying, I know more than a doctor in this situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I liked Kyrie's take, though, because Kyrie was like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. Now, Andrew Wiggins was trying to play doctor, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like for me, real quick, someone says, I don't think the NBA will do it. They would have done it by now. The teams are just going to lose players for a few games, unfortunately.
Right.
And my thing is, if they do a shutdown, I'll be honest, I think the shutdown will only last for a few days.
Yeah,
it would only be to get all the players vaccinated and get them their boosters. That's that's kind of, for me, what I think they would do. We're on a technicality. It is a shutdown, but it's not because they're just screwed or anything. I just think it's genuinely because they're just going to get the players vaccinated. The NFL is in a world of hurt. More players on COVID, says reserve list. They are worried with a capital W. They are screwed. Yeah.
It's definitely a concern, though, because it's like, here's my main point. Like, right now, you don't do it just because, it's just one team. But, now we're starting to, you saw it affect LeBron. Now you saw it affect Jason Tatum. And
it did LeBron for like what, a couple days, like not even a full day. Like he popped negative, and then it was hilarious. Everyone was like, see, this is why you can't get the vaccine. And then he ended up getting 2 negatives in 24 hours. And all of a sudden, like anti-vax Twitter was like, went 0 dark 30.
Every tweet deleted, tweets deleted. It's like, yo,
bro, it was wild.
But it's something to where, though, if we're starting to see full squads go down like you have with the Bulls, like, let's be real, Vucevic is on the court right now for the Bulls, but he had it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Like, he was gone. Like, So really, that's why I said the only ones that are good right now is Levine, Caruso, and Lonzo, and Billy Donovan as the coach. But other than that, everybody's pretty much gotten hit. So, and sorry for the poor soul that I completely forgot on the Bulls that is probably COVID negative right now, but you are obviously not that important to me to realize. But it's definitely something. Even Stanley fucking Johnson, we signed him the other day, has COVID now. Like, I would assume everybody has fucking. Stanley's been here 2 days.
Yeah,
COVID. Like, bro, like,
but I'm gonna end it with this. I think they will have players in the stadium. They're referring to the NFL and no fans.
I don't think that changes.
Maybe even NBA. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't think so. I think what they're probably gonna end up doing is just trying to have everyone vaccinated, have enough of a vaccination percentage where they'll be comfortable. Right? That's honestly what I would do. And if you don't look, man, I'm gonna say this right now. If you don't like it,
leave.
Hey yo, Shanghai Sharks. You feel me? I want to make those Ben Simmons jokes. Shanghai Sharks are taking open applications.
Yeah.
So You know what I mean? And this is one thing people got to understand. Look, man, for every action, there is a equal reaction.
Right.
No, you're gonna have to suffer a consequence, whether it's good or bad. And if you don't agree with it, it is what it is. But that don't make you a martyr. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And that was my biggest thing. I was like, you can have your opinion, but the voice of the voiceless thing just kind of.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
It really hurt. It really hurt.
It
was an amazing 9-minute like video from Kyrie, and then within 20 seconds towards the end, I was just like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Everything you just said.
And honestly, and I was told Kyrie was smart, so I'm not gonna hold him to any different standard. If he's stupid, It is what it is. Before we leave, Rue said, "My Thunder don't have any players in protocol."
Yo, Thunder don't have players.
Shit, yo, come on, don't disrespect Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they have that one guy too. They have that one guy who plays that one position with that hairstyle. You know, he's got that name.
They got Giddy. Oh my God, Giddy's on TikTok all the time.
Zion, right? He was clear to get on the court. Everyone was ecstatic. They were like, "Oh yeah, Zion coming back." I was one of those people. I was happy. And the NBA gods took him just as fast as we got him back. Quote, and this is a quote from a doctor, or from the team who got it from a doctor, because I have absolutely no idea what the fuck they're saying, right?
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
And this is a quote: after experiencing persistent soreness in his right foot, Zion Williamson underwent medical imaging, which showed a regression in the bone healing of the 5th metatarsal. As a result, the volume and intensity of his training will be reduced for an extended period to help allow for further bone healing. For those of you who don't understand, I'm going to break this down in the easiest way possible.
Fat boy's foot hurts.
Zion Williamson had another setback and is going to retire before he can spell the word pride. Yeah. Because I don't know about you, Mike. This right here is Greg Oden all over again.
It's bad.
All over again. They said that the surgery was a success, that he was fine, gets on the court, and now all of a sudden, and by the way, they said that the volume and intensity of his training, what the Pelicans did, it was very smart. It was very smart. They told you Zion is not going to practice or do any basketball activities without telling you that Zion is not doing any basketball activity. Like, in what world are we going to say, yeah, we're just going to tone it down just a little bit? Fam, he was only jogging. What are we going to do? Walk? Like, fam, he can't walk. Like, have you seen him? Like, and look, this ain't no shot to Zion. Not at all.
No, it is.
The brother, look, I got a Zion jersey.
At this point, it is.
But and the thing is, I don't want him to come across as a shot, because look, I want him to succeed. I really do. But it's to the point where, like, if the kid can't even run, at some point, his weight is going to get completely out of control. To the point that, if we're going to be honest, who's going to want to pick him up and be like, "Hey, Zion, even with your weight issues, we'll help you through the weight issues"? Like, who's really going to do that, Mike?
Charlotte.
You said who?
Charlotte. Talk to me.
Zion just needs to retire. His career is over. The foot injury will only be with him.
Hell no, Zion doesn't need to retire. Zion.
No, I'm going to tell you. Hold on. Matter of fact, go ahead, Mike. I'm going to let you go. Go ahead.
Here's why Zion doesn't need to retire. Because Zion can still get a couple of decent contracts from this league. Because people are still going to be willing to take a chance on Zion for the fact that either you want to see a big-ass dude dunk, or for the fact that you hope that maybe he can be who he once was. The problem with Zion, and it's the problem that I've been talking about a lot, is I'm no physical therapist, but I was always the team physical therapist. I've been hurt so many times that I understand every single nook and cranny on how to make everything feel better. That's just me. Like, I've been through everything: lacrosse, football, baseball, basketball, everything, and I've been through it. So it was definitely something to where I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from that perspective, though, is the reason this foot never heals, or his ankle or his knee or anything of the lower body. can't try to be, and it's so sad to say because he's literally, I think he's a year younger than me. I'm turning 22. I think he's like 21, something like that, or he's a year older. I don't give a fuck really. But you know, when you're that young and having to change your game drastically already.
21.
Yeah. Okay. So we're the same age. Fuck. Dude, doing so much better than me. But I can run. But you know, there's the difference. My thing though is with lower body injuries like that, when you're over 310 pounds, it's never gonna heal properly because you're respectfully. What was it from Friday? You're too damn big. Like that's just the truth. Too damn big. Like it just don't work like that. And you can't be dunking out of your shoes every single possession because you have lingering muscle injuries. And Pride and I talked about it a little bit, Alana, you know, about hamstring issues. We both had hamstring issues playing baseball. They never really go away. Derrick Rose is a key athlete to look at of someone who had to change his. You are what?
You say you 75 pounds.
Oh, don't do him like
that. I'm 165, all muscle, but hey, we can talk about that another time. That ain't even your card, but it is what it is.
Come on, Mike.
Dude, Mike. You take the ball. But you know, with Zion and I'd rather be 70 pounds than 370 pounds. That's just me though. But yeah, it's never gonna heal properly. So for him to have to drastically change his game when he doesn't really have that much game, regardless, and that's the problem. Like I'm gonna be real, Zion's not a shooter. Zion's not a shooter by any regard. Like this kid belongs in the paint. So that's who he is. So that's the really unfortunate part of it is he never even got a chance to develop more of a game outside of what he already is. So it's going to be really hard for him to have that Derrick Rose type of comeback or that John Wall type of comeback to where you guys are trying to do a different way of things. Love y'all, Jason. It's all good, bro. But it's definitely going to be really hard, I think, for Zion to transition because you believe in yourself, and he's a 21-year-old kid. My question, Alana, do you even believe this? Soreness. Now, this isn't an injury. This is soreness. Do you think this is actually Zion saying I'm hurt, or is this Zion saying the same thing AD said to where, you know, there is proof that, okay, there was an injury and it could still be bothering you. Something could still be lingering. Or is this just like Anthony Davis in New Orleans just trying to get out of there?
I think it's a combination of both. I think that I do think that there is soreness there because, like you said, that is a lot of weight to be putting on legs like that. I mean, any leg injury, honestly, once you injure your leg once, it never really goes away. Whether it's like a knee injury, a hamstring, a Achilles, the ACL, MCL, like whatever the case may be. Like once you kind of alter with the legs, it's never quite the same. But
right.
I think also that he does want out of New Orleans. I think that there's been too many coaches there. There's been too many rotations in as far as players there. There's nothing really consistent. Like they don't have really a foundation. It's just like we're just gonna make Zion work, and it's like they don't really plan on building around that. So I definitely think it's a combination of both. I do think he's still injured. I also think he's a little timid to come back because of the weight. Just because it has been a topic of conversation, you know, throughout the media and with fans and things of that nature. And, you know, with this social media era, it's brutal, man. Like, honestly, these athletes nowadays deserve more credit dealing with, because everybody's accessible. They're so accessible.
Right.
Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's an expert. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like it's a combination of all three of those things. I think he's kind of intimidated a little bit because he has been putting on weight, and weight has been an issue, and it's been a story. So he may be, you know, afraid of coming back because of that factor as well.
Right.
Yeah. I when it comes to this, I genuinely believe Zion was wincing, and he kind of didn't want to say anything. And then all of a sudden they pulled him aside and was like, "You're walking weird. What's wrong with you?" And he was like, "Nah, I'm good." And they were like, "Come holler at me real quick."
Right.
And then they probably put him through a test. Probably put him on a treadmill or something. And they were just bumping up the speed. And when they saw him wincing, I guarantee they looked at him and they bumped up the speed again. And they kept going until Zion himself stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then they looked at that treadmill, and when Zion can usually run with that treadmill at a 20, it was only out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when probably Zion really said, God damn, I got caught.
Mm-hmm.
That's to me, that's what happened. And the scary part about it is because someone said he should retire, his career is over. I'm not gonna say it's over, but Zion needs to go home for a little bit.
What it was will never be, I don't think.
It was, and the reason I say this,
No.
yeah, 100%. And the reason I say this is it kind of parodies. So another comment someone said, one bad landing and that leg is gonna snap.
Yeah, no doubt.
We can't really tell him to do that because the thing is, that's all he's played. Like that was his play style. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I always took Ja, because at least Ja has that athleticism. With Zion,
but the thing is, for me, it's like when that athleticism leaves, what do you bring for me?
And that's
Ja at least has a jump shot.
Right. With Zion, you really don't have any game outside of the paint. And there's no shot.
He's a bigger, less skilled Giannis.
Yeah,
because Giannis doesn't really have a go-to like offensive move, but Giannis is good enough to kind of pick and choose his spots where he knows I can't go 1 through 5. You know, like I can't jump over everybody. At some point, I have to set up a move and then go for a layup, or set up a move and then get into a jump shot, or get my teammates involved. Zion doesn't have that. It's just 100 miles per, like you were saying earlier, Michael Derrick Rose. It's just 100 miles per hour. I'm gonna make something happen, and if it don't happen, then I don't really know what else to do from there.
and this goes because I honestly like this is kind of the point I was trying to make.
Really, though.
I think it's both. I really think it's both. I think the team wants him back, and I think Zion subconsciously feels that, and he feels like I need to come back. You know what I mean? Like the team is like, "Hey, Zion, you're feeling good, right?" They're not asking Zion if he's feeling good. They're saying, "You feel good, right?" And when you're asking that, he goes, "Yep, I feel good. Yep, 100%. I feel good."
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
all
he's all in practice. He don't feel good, but he doesn't want to say anything, and he's keeping his mouth shut. And he's like, "Okay, just gonna keep going until he gets caught and they pull him aside."
Zion's last game was May 3rd, 2021.
And you ready to hear the funny part about it?
Crazy.
Are you ready to hear the crazy part about it?
Insane.
Ready to hear something that I think is really going to be not funny, but kind of wild?
Right.
This one injury is going to rob more time from Zion than Clay's two injuries will rob from him.
Yeah, I think so as well. And
I'll be honest.
Clay still shoots. He's just a shooter.
And also Clay's in better shape.
No. I'm not talking about their impact on the court. I'm talking about the amount of time that they will miss.
Right.
But that's both of those things kind of go hand in hand though.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, Clay's never been a guy that's been out of shape. Clay's never come into camp out of shape, never had to work himself back into games. Like he's always come prepared. You know what I'm saying? And Mike said he's a shooter, so he doesn't really have to. Clay ain't super. He has athletic moments, but he's not like a otherworldly athlete. Like he's not a Russ or a Bron or somebody like that. But that's also that's also the difference.
Yeah, you're fine. Your phone dumb bright, so I can't.
Yeah.
But so ESPN has Zion listed at 284. But okay, we're gonna let that.
So here's the thing. Here's the weird thing. I'm gonna tell you something about that weight. That weight is perplexing, right?
Right.
And
this is the same ESPN.
That's some bullshit.
Who actually took some shit, right? Like, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? They posted an article. Claiming Zion weighed over 350 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the same ESPN that said that. So I think we need to start watching what we say when, look, man, me personally, I don't go to ESPN for articles.
Credible, but not credible.
No. To me, they're not credible.
They're not.
When it comes to the articles,
they've lost a lot of credibility.
If it's a trade,
if it's a trade or like a box score, I'll go there.
Even with that, they be wrong about that too sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've lost a lot of credibility over the years because a lot of athletes don't trust ESPN anymore.
Right.
And ready the funny
part.
part.
If you notice, a lot of these other sites and stuff, they be like breaking the actual factual news first, and then
I hear everything from the Score before I hear anything about
the Score, Bleacher Report, the highlighter, like all that stuff. Like
100%, they do.
Now, Pride though, we are talking about trades, so I do want to ask the question that everyone has out there, and I've heard it a couple of times now. You know,
No.
Indiana
No.
is
I think you're talking about Zion.
No, I am though.
No.
Indiana.
By the way, real quick before I forget, so Zion,
6'6".
believe it or not, is 6'6".
300.
Motherfuckers are inch taller than JR talking about over 300 pounds.
That's crazy.
Let that sink in, bro. It's an overweight Iman Shumpert.
You know, he's smaller than Shaq and weighs more than Shaq and Barkley.
Let that sink in. Can I ask a question? Let me ask
He
you another question.
calls Barkley retirement body, and he's like 20.
Bro, look, right now, hold on. Look, man, I ain't even trying to be funny, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny. By the way, Coach, what it do, baby?
What up,
Look, man, I ain't even trying to be funny about Zion, bro. But fam, right now, Chuck, after a hip replacement and chucking all them donuts, I can get him off the shelf inside the NBA on TNT. I can put him on the court, and he'll be more in shape than you, Zion.
Yeah.
Zion, you haven't even entered the prime of your life.
Yeah.
Zion, you younger than me. You roll me out there, and guess what? I might give you 3 points, and very inefficiently, might I add. It's gonna be horrible. And I'm talking about like I lucked my way to those 3 points. And it's not even a 3-point shot, right? Like I went in the paint, I got bodied. I said, I threw the ball, actually made it by the grace of God, and then I went to the free throw line. So
I'm gonna run 2 laps and see if he can catch me, and then it's on after that. I'm scoring everything
look
after that.
here, man. Look here. No disrespect to Zion, bro, but we gotta understand something when it comes to this, brother. And Mike, hold on to your trade thing real quick.
No, you're good.
As an individual, the mere fact that I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna be a good noodle. My mommy said if I don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Not
My mommy said I have to be a good boy. I will listen to my beloved mother.
Yes.
Zion.
I just saw it shut down from back.
Man made me get a fit. Yo, I'm just so tight because he made me get a jersey. Look at him. You're telling me that's under 300? Come on, get this fat fuck out my screen, bro. Fuck out of here. Come on, son.
Man, okay. Now, I got to re-answer Mike's question because now that I see that, I don't think it's the soreness anymore. I don't think he want to play in New Orleans, and I don't think I don't think he's ready to play because of the weight. I think it's both of those.
You want to know what I legitimately think it is?
Yeah, I can see that changed my whole.
This right now.
It's AD 2.0.
Yeah.
Who says who 2.0?
It's AD. Like AD was hurt.
It's worse. It's way worse.
Longer.
It's way worse.
No,
In
but
my
the situation is like
worse.
we're sitting out.
No, because this is what I think it is.
You think he's really hurt?
AD, I think being hurt is a part of this,
right?
But I don't think it's a part of the weight. I think it's a part of why he's out.
It's not the deciding factor
for me. The reason he weighs this much, I don't think is that he wants out. He might want out, but I don't think that's why he's getting weight.
I think he stress eats.
And you know what I think it is? I think the same thing. I think he does it because let's be honest, let's put this in context, right?
He was chilling in college.
College, high school, and people were hyping him up. There was zero pressure.
Right.
Zero pressure. At this point, he's 80% fat and 20% muscle at this point, brother.
I have no idea. I mean, I ain't gonna disrespect him like that, but
I'm going to. I mean,
he's still he got muscles, but like I don't know.
Mike,
I don't know.
Mike, you're trying too hard to be nice, Mike.
Like kids swole. Kids definitely swole.
Yeah, swole with fat. David Griffin has not done well in that Pelicans front office, but we also got to understand when it comes to Pelicans front office, they're not giving him shit to work with.
I would like the record to reflect that David Griffin, ever since he made that comment about Bron, the New Orleans Pelicans organization has been shit.
We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that.
It always was shit, but
it was
pride.
But real quick, with Zion, I just think we got to remember he never had any type of pressure on him until he got to New Orleans. In New Orleans, they were like, "Yo, you're the chosen one." Right. You know, Luke, save us from Darth Vader and Darth Sidious, right? Like that. And I genuinely believe
AD literally just left, so you were the new face.
Exactly. So everyone expected Zion to be better than AD.
Right.
And when that happens, I believe it's the pressure that caught up to him, and to comfort himself, he was just eating food. That's what I believe, because there's no way you're getting that big solely off of injuries when Clay had 2 back-to-back injuries. That if you're gonna gain weight, that's the type of surgery that will do it. Right. With your kids, with 2 back-to-back, like, you know what I mean? Like Russ literally traveled around the globe before in the time that Clay hasn't come back, and the fact that Clay has not really, he gained a couple pounds, but it wasn't nothing crazy.
Right.
That just tells me it's got to be something about pressure for this kid.
Right. Now that was what led me to my old trade thing though, is when you look at it from that perspective and you say, okay, this is obviously Brandon Ingram's team. Brandon Ingram's a dog. Like, he's a straight killer. I think he's definitely going to be an MVP candidate in a couple years. I think you just need to put a good team around him. Now, when you look at what's going on in Indiana, all they want is a young star to build around. They don't want to do this with Sabonis anymore. They just want to get picks. If you're New Orleans, do you think about it? You say, all right, Zion and Valanciunas and maybe a first. You look at it from that perspective. You get all three, Harris, Miles, and Sabonis to team up with Ingram. I would do it.
And but you're talking about it from the Pelicans' perspective.
Right.
Indiana don't want. They ain't gonna want Zion.
I'm gonna be completely real with you though, Pride. Being in Chicago, I'm being completely real with you. Number one, there's 3 points, and Alana can justify it. If this kid's gonna lose weight anywhere, it's Indiana because there ain't shit in Indiana.
Wolves. Absolutely correct.
Weight's not the only problem.
Ain't shit but corn in Indiana. So that's. And if you're in Gary, Indiana, you ain't going out because you're gonna stay inside because you're gonna get shot. So it's definitely that perspective. Number two, Indiana needs Zion because no one's going to Indiana Pacer games. People are going to go to these games and buy jerseys regardless whether this kid's 300 or 400 pounds. They're going to do it because Pride, the same reason you bought that jersey, even though he's fat, the hype is still real. That
I bought it when he was active. Bro.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
And I didn't even buy the jersey, bro.
But answer this though, Pride. Out of all of the young stars that they could get for Sabonis, Miles, and LeVert, is there anybody out there?
I'm glad you said that. Yes, there is. There's actually one way better. And we're going to stick in the same team. Brandon Ingram. They're more likely to try to get Brandon Ingram than Zion because Zion's injured. Right now, his trade value is negative.
Dude, if they trade Brandon and keep Zion,
thing is,
turn the whole fucking thing down.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yeah, that's why I think if they trade Zion, I think Brandon Ingram is right behind him. No, I think he's right behind him. I genuinely think
that solidifies Brandon being the face of the franchise.
I don't think so. Because, and you want to know why? I genuinely believe that? Who's playing now?
Brandon.
Who's been more consistent?
Brandon.
Who's giving you more production?
Brandon is the king of fucking New Orleans.
And if they're still not pushing him as the face of the franchise, there's nothing Brandon Ingram can do to be the face of the franchise. Right now, he is by far there. And I will say this, even with Zion healthy, by far, Brandon Ingram is the best player on that team.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? It's like
he's complete, really.
Right. So Zion has been injured for how long? Brandon Ingram has been balling out for how long? And they're still not pushing him as the face. Me personally, I don't think there's really nothing Brandon Ingram. I mean, unless he wins an MVP, maybe if he literally carries this team into the playoffs, or the play-in tourney, maybe. But outside of that, Brandon Ingram can't do nothing else. Yeah, he's done everything he can. And I'll be honest, if I'm him, I'm surprised he hasn't already demanded out. I'm gonna be honest.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the fact that Brandon Ingram is still in there after everything. He low-key a real one. He want to stay. He want to stay there, which then goes back to my point with them saying, "Oh my goodness gracious, I got good food in New Orleans. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, no." Holla at me, bro. Why is Brandon Ingram still looking like the Slim Reaper, bro?
Right.
Why he look like the dude that ain't eat a sandwich in Condos? How long? Like Brandon Ingram really looks like
Brandon Ingram don't smoke weed. He be high.
No, he do.
Come on now. I'm gonna say this right now. I guarantee he has played high before. I've seen this man in some timeouts, and he looked like a skinny tall JR. This man be like, and I'm like, ain't no way you stupid dog. Like
when he walked into the arena, he already looked like he just put the blunt out. Like, he just put it out. He just put it out.
Exactly. Like they're just like, I'm done.
All right, gotta go play some basketball now. Like
he finished in that last pull right when he jogged it out. That's why he'd be looking down. He'd be like,
no, for
like, come on.
Like, I mean, hey, listen, if he continues to develop his game, I definitely think he can make some noise in the league for years to come because he has the potential. But the potential is there for Brandon Ingram. I don't think he probably don't even want Zion there. I think he at the point where he like, let it just be my team. Let me see what I can do. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why I said you bring in Sabonis, Miles, and LeVert. Maybe you move on from Valanciunas and Zion.
That's not a bad trade, though. Honestly,
it's a solid trade.
I mean, look, it wouldn't be a bad trade if Zion was like.
But that's the thing. That's what Mike
said. Honestly, if he hadn't suffered the setback, I think Indiana would be willing to do this trade.
But are we sure it's a setback for what he's saying? It's a
Is it a real setback?
Yes, it is. No, it is. It is because
Anthony Davis, though.
But
Anthony Davis had a setback. Yeah. And they still sent Lonzo. They sent Hart. They sent Ingram. They sent the picks. They sent everything.
No. At that point, Anthony Davis already said, "Get me out of here." You know what I mean?
True. Zion just hasn't said
I think Zion is more to his setback, quote unquote. Like it's not just him.
I don't think he's at get me out of here.
I think he wants to get out of New Orleans, but it's kind of like how I was saying with Dame on Just to the Truth. Like Dame wants to get traded, but he doesn't want to be the one to say, I want to be traded. Like
he doesn't want to be viewed as that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be viewed as that. He just wants Portland to be like, all right, we're not going to give you this outrageous amount of money that you're asking for, so we're just going to trade you. It's the same thing with Zion. Zion doesn't want to come out and be like, I don't want to be here anymore. So his thing is like, I'm going to just make it difficult to the point where you have to trade me. Like you don't have any other choice but to trade me.
Right. But, and I get that, but I don't know. I mean,
that's the new thing now. Like, look, James Harden has started a trend with that. Like, that's the new thing. Like, if you
James Harden didn't really necessarily say I'm injured. He was just like, James Harden didn't really say he was injured. He kind of just started sitting out because he was like, I did my thing. You don't want to trade me. All right, now I'm gonna withhold my services because it is what it is.
But that wasn't even just that though. He was hanging out with Lil Baby.
Yeah, exactly. He was doing everything what he was supposed to do. Right. At that moment.
Right. Yeah. So
like, if you don't want to trade me after I asked you to trade me, then I'm just gonna do all this so you have to trade me.
Right. And the thing is, I'll be honest. I don't think this. I like I said, I genuinely believe it had to do with Zion's injury, and the only reason I'm saying that is, why would you? And I'm talking about Zion. If you know you want out, why would you agree to that day play a 5-on-5? Because when he was going to practice, it was to do a 5-on-5. So it's like,
you know what it is though to me. And speaking, I'm a little bit younger. When you're 21 and you haven't really done anything, you don't really have the right to want out. So I think it's more of I'm gonna quiet. Like Alana, listen to me. Hear me out though.
Okay.
D was there through a lot of bullshit. Zion really wasn't. So Zion might want out, but you can't go out there and be like, "You've been treating me awful. You've been doing this. You've been doing that. You haven't given me anyone." Nah, dog. Like we gave you Hart, Lonzo, and Ingram. You just didn't stay healthy. Like that's really what it was. And at the end of the day, I don't think he has the resume to want out because you haven't done anything for this franchise the same way you could say that they haven't done anything for him. Like, no, we've gotten you the pieces. Like, sure, we fucking whiffed on every single head coach that we've ever given you, but you have Ingram. Like, you have all these guys. Like, you can make a run at this. Zion just hasn't been there or even in the league long enough to really have that pull to say, I've done a lot for this organization and I want to be out. Now, if Dame says it, Dame's been there 10 years. Dame can say whatever the fuck he wants to say. AD, he served his time. You know what I mean? Like, he watched it happen with CP3. He watched it happen with other individuals and just people coming and going, and nothing was ever consistent. But with Zion, it's kind of to the point where it's like, my guy, you've been here like 2-3 years and you've played like 60 games. Shut the fuck up. Like, go play basketball. Like, that's really what they'll tell him. And so to say, I'm still hurt, I think that's the way you get yourself out, is them just moving on from you rather than you moving on from them.
But that makes no sense because to me,
oh, it doesn't. But that's why he's 21 years old. Nothing we do.
Because and I get what you're saying in terms of like from the team's perspective. Right. But guys have been traded for multiple reasons. I mean, if I'm him, I go to the organization and says, look, no disrespect, fuck New Orleans. I don't want to be here.
Right.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think Zion doesn't have that in him.
Yeah, no, he don't.
And you know who else didn't have it in him? You know who else didn't have it in him? Anthony Davis.
Right. But that goes to your point, though, when you talk about this pressure that we might be seeing from Zion, when he stress eats, when he does all that, if he gets viewed as someone who wants out, that builds onto that 10 times more. Now you're injury ridden. Now you're a team cancer. Now you're this. Now you're that. Whereas Ben Simmons, Ben can take it. Like, say what you want. Ben don't give a fuck. Ben's on his Twitch right now, just chilling, playing Twitch.
I thought he was weak, though. I thought he was weak.
Nah, I definitely think
Free Ben.
From a player's perspective,
free Ben.
right? Nah, free Ben. I don't know about that, but like,
we know about it. Free Ben.
Free Dame.
Free Dame.
Okay, I'll agree with you there. I'll agree with you there.
Dame.
No, you know what? No, I don't agree with you there.
Free Dame.
No.
I agree with Mike. Free Dame for sure.
No, I'm not gonna say
What?
free Dame. And I'm gonna say it for one reason.
10 years.
It's because I understand 10 years, but guess what? Dame wants 11. So if Damian Lillard came out and said, "Get me out of here," then I'm screaming free Dame.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Dame, if you want to be there, you feel me? If you keep wanting, if
it's
you
that same idea though, Pride. It's that same idea about your image though. Zion uses the injury, so then Dame goes, "All right, what am I gonna say? All right, I want $60 million a year."
Yeah,
Hold on, let me ask you a question on that because
you don't want no $60 million a year. You don't give a fuck like that.
Let me ask you a question on that. Matter of fact, no. Tuesday,
if they offer it, I bet he takes it though.
Tuesday, we go. Matter of fact, Mike. Can I have a conversation with y'all? An open book conversation. Will y'all indulge me for a moment?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely believe, and I might catch some shit from either one of you guys or somebody in the chat.
But that's okay.
In sports, I believe being loyal to a team
It's dumb.
is the most overrated, idiotic, self-sabotaging thing you can ever do.
Absolutely agree.
And I'm explaining why. I'm glad I have a little bit of backup here. I really
no argument from me.
And I'm explaining why. Because when I say that, people get mad at me. And this is why I say it. And I'm not even going to talk about the fact that a team can trade you without a blink of an eye. I'm not going to go into any of that. My thing is, a player's supposed to want to win at all costs,
right?
Until the cost is something you disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. And I'm gonna say that one more time, nice and slow.
Say it for the people in the back.
Yeah, real quick, one more time, because I think the people in the back had trouble hearing me. So come closer to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And Uncle Prize gonna say it one more time.
Yep.
I hate y'all.
Everyone says a player should want to win at all costs until the matter of fact, I got one better. You tell a player to win at all costs until the cost is out of your budget.
Right.
Out of your budget. Let me explain. LeBron James gets killed because he's been around different teams, right? So here's the question I have for people. And again, if I'm wrong, please let me know. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the greatest big man of all time, he played on multiple teams.
Yeah.
Does that make him worse?
Lakers, Bucks.
Shaq, the most dominant big man in the game, he played on multiple teams.
I think that was a little different though.
I think it's the same exact thing.
Shaq's was a smidge different just because
it's the same exact thing.
Right, but
I'm not comparing it. But I'm not comparing it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, I think, but like comparing it to Bron is more like.
No, I'm not comparing it to. I'm just saying the fact that LeBron went from one team to another.
Right, but where Shaq, it was more forced. I felt like where the first time going to LA, that was Shaq. Now after LA, nobody else really wanted Shaq.
Yeah, because
at that time he was at the end of his prime. He probably everyone understood he has one more year left. After that, we have role player Shaq.
Right, he just wanted to play.
Yeah, right. But we're talking about. I'm just talking about in general.
Right now, but being real, if it wasn't for the Kobe beef, I don't think he ever leaves the Lakers.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell this. And by the way, Anthony, I'm glad you said that. He spent his last 2 years in the Washington Wizards. Didn't make the playoff one time, but oops, my bad. Oops, I did it again. But then when LeBron loses,
also though, if we're gonna do that, he played 82 games and averaged 37 minutes in 2002. But that's neither here nor there. But we're talking about low Jordan.
I mean, if you even want to take it back a little bit further, as far as the Jordan situation, is that Jordan also wanted to be traded as well. The difference and Pride, I see where you were going as far as like, you know, the whole loyalty and players and all of that situation. But what people have to realize is when it comes to loyalty, people are as loyal as pretty much people are as loyal as their situation. Right. So whatever their situation, whatever.
Whoa, hold on, whoa. Say that one more time.
Did I?
Whoa, say that one more time. Hold on.
People are as loyal as their situation.
Put it on a t-shirt. God damn.
Because this is in life, this is in sports, this is in anything. People are as loyal as their situation.
Right.
Both Kobe and Jordan, who are guys who get, you know, the ultimate praise for staying with one team for X amount of years. And I mean, granted, Jordan didn't go to another team. He was at the latter part of his career, whatever. I'm not even going to count.
And there was the beef with the front office. So it all comes down to that at the end of the day.
Exactly. So I'm not even going to count that. I'm not going to even knock that against him. But what people have to realize is both of those guys demanded trades too. The difference is that their situation changed. So the loyalty changed. Right. That's all it is. When it comes out to players and loyalties to franchises or to executives or whatever the case may be, they are as loyal as their situation. Once their situation, they feel like the situation doesn't benefit them or it's not a situation that they can build from or grow from, then that's when I need to be traded. So then two things can happen. Either the team could be like, okay, well, we're going to do whatever it takes within our power to make sure that you don't leave, or they pretty much say F it and be like, well, what do you want to do? And then at that point, you got a decision to make.
Right. So and just to make that point clear for all the Bron haters and all the Jordan haters and the Shaqs and the Kareems, today's 15, and this is just for Freddie and everybody who's a Kobe fan. I love Kobe too, but let's just be real here. 15 years ago today, Kobe Bryant decided he wanted to go to the Chicago Bulls. It didn't end up happening.
And why? But why?
He demanded it because of the issues that were going on.
No. Why didn't Kobe get traded?
Because the situation.
No. Before the situation had changed. I think it was John Paxson was an executive at the time.
Right.
Refused to give up Luol Deng. So the reason.
Wow.
Let's put this in context, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Mike, I'm so sorry.
I'm going to put this junk in context.
Can we get a zoom in on Mike's face?
Bro, matter of fact, I'm going to repeat it and it's just have Mike's face on the screen. The reason that Kobe Bryant did not go, and by the way, the trade was so close to happening, Kobe Bryant almost bought a house in Chicago.
He was looking at schools in Chicago, bro.
Bro, this man, he packed his stuff. And this is not me being dramatic. Kobe Bryant literally packed, he had everything packed almost left. The only reason, and the trade was centered around a young Joakim Noah and a Luol Deng.
Can we pray up Mike, please?
Which I'm leaving it on until I finish. I'm pretty sure it was John Paxson. John Paxson refused to give up Luol Deng.
Tears in my eyes, yo.
So don't give me this notion that Kobe Bryant, he was.
Ooh, I got tears.
But let me ask y'all a question: if Kobe Bryant was to be traded, does that really impact him being a top 10 player all time?
No.
I don't care where you have him.
He's still going to be in the same position.
Him going to Chicago, Detroit. If it was the Celtics, if it was the New Jersey Nets at the time, if he went anywhere else, does that mean he is not a top 10 player?
Sorry.
John Paxson picked Luol Deng over Kobe Bryant.
First of all, John Paxson deserves to be a pack right now. Mike.
John Paxson.
And Mike, you know what I mean when I say
that. That means, right?
He deserves to be a pack.
Rest in piss.
No, Mike, he deserved to be smoked on. He deserved to be a pack.
Rest in piss, John Paxson.
But I will say this,
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Thank you.
But if I'm just saying, if Kobe had gone to the Bulls and he was able to bring them a championship, that would solidify me having him over Jordan. To me,
that would be his 6th as well.
And, my thing is,
I still have more.
No, but I'm talking about. Let's say he doesn't win another ring in Chicago. Does the act of him going elsewhere mean he's not top 10 all time?
Oh no,
that's what I'm saying. Like, so for me, I've always looked at loyalty as extremely overrated.
I don't know if I do that.
But like I said,
hold on. Do what? Do not make me defend Kobe Bryant. Do not make me do that. Come on, son. Hold on. You telling me if he went to Chicago, you telling me he wouldn't be top 10 all time?
Nah, he is top 10 of all time. But I have him on 5. But that's just me. I was born the year he won his first championship. I've been Kobe my whole life. But I'm just saying. I'm biased. I have him in my 5. I'm
not going into it. I'm not delving deep into it.
To be fair though, at 5.
I'm not delving deep into it. My thing is,
I will say this though, the Luol Deng, tough. Now, Joakim though, I got love for Joe, and I feel like
it was 4 players. It was Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, and like 2 of the rotational players, and I think even a pick was in there for Kobe Bryant.
Can you imagine Kobe beating Bryant with Derrick Rose?
But that wouldn't have happened.
It would have. Oh no, it wouldn't have, because you're right. It wouldn't have.
It wouldn't have happened. So I don't trust John. I don't trust John Paxson enough or Gar Forman to put a team together around Kobe to really build something special. Now I think the best situation is the fact that you had a 1% chance of getting Derrick Rose, and you did. You had Deng, you had Cover, you had Joakim, you had Kirk Heinrich, you had all these other dogs out there to build off with Derrick. Then you get Jimmy, then you get all these other guys. You don't have that. You don't have a single one of those guys with Kobe. So I say I don't do it just because I don't know what the team would look like around Kobe. Now, obviously, would I want a Bulls Kobe Bryant jersey? Of fucking course. Like, no question about it. And I feel like we would have been in a much better position with Kobe Bryant than with Joakim and them. But I just don't know what that team would have ended up looking like, because there's no shot we're a lottery team with Kobe Bryant. There's no shot in the world.
I'm just, like I said, the point I was basically just trying to make.
Right. No, I hear you.
If he gets traded,
if you get Derrick, if it's Kobe and Derrick Rose, you fuck.
No, Derrick Rose was staying. Derrick Rose was staying. Like,
no, Derrick Rose wasn't on the team.
No, he wasn't even on the team. I'm sorry, he wasn't on the team.
Pride,
I don't think they would have gotten him.
What I'm saying is this. Now, tell me if I'm wrong.
Uh-huh.
They had a 1% chance. Now, in the lottery, it's the same thing with Zion. You know, they were placed. There's only 10 teams allowed in the lottery. The Bulls were 10, and New Orleans was 10 for Zion, and they had a 1% chance at getting both of those guys, and they ended up getting them. I don't think you're at 10 if you have Kobe Bryant. I think you're not even in the lottery. I think you're just mediocre. You're just an average team, or maybe you're a first-round exit. And I don't trust Paxson and Gar Forman enough to put a team together around Kobe. Now, maybe you get CP3. Maybe that dream gets fulfilled, because I know they just didn't want CP3 to be a Laker. That's why that never happened.
Oh, my God, bro.
That's a whole different conversation for a different day.
Kobe with, bro. What?
Right, but what I'm saying is I think they allowed that to happen if Kobe's in Chicago. But again, the only reason I say all of those guys for Kobe no is that Kobe was 30 years of age at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And Joakim was about to go win Defensive Player of the Year. You know, he was the heart and soul of this team. Luol Deng was a stud. You get the picks and all. You're not going to get Derrick Rose. Like, I don't know what that team looks like. I hear you, Pride. I'm going along.
I
just don't know what that team would have ended up looking like.
I'm just saying, even if he wins no rings in Chicago,
right?
Does that mean he's not a top 10 player all time?
No, I don't.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's
and that's basically how I'm looking at it. When I look at it, is, you know, for me, loyalty 100% overrated. Last topic for the night. The NFL playoffs are looking beautiful, especially in the AFC. Oh, they look beautiful. Look at that.
Bears are in it, baby.
I mean, look. Yeah, I mean.
So are the Lions. The Lions have a. Before you go, Pride. Right now, I saw it this morning. The Lions have a 1 in 2 trillion chance at making the playoffs.
Yes.
So you're telling me there's
a chance. Yeah, 100%.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
The greatest organization to ever grace God's green earth. Led by the greatest head coach to ever put on a half sleeve hoodie former home of the greatest quarterback to ever grace God's green earth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Uncle Prize gonna say his name. Say it with me now. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. The New England Patriots. We are the number 1 seed. God bless this country. Let me enjoy it. Before anyone kills me, let me enjoy it. We were supposed to be down bad, and the fact that we're the number 1 seed, even if it's for like a couple weeks, let me enjoy my life. I just want to throw that out there. Patriots at 1, the Tennessee Titans at 2, Baltimore Ravens at 3, the Chiefs at 4, Chargers at 5, Cincinnati Bengals at 6, and the Buffalo Bills at 7. And then there are a few bubble teams, which are a lot, if we're going to be honest. The Colts are 7-6. They're the 8th seed. Then the 6-6 Raiders are the 9th seed. The 10th seed, the 6-1 Steelers. And then at the 11th seed, the 6-6 Browns. Then the Broncos are also 6-6, and they're 12th. And the Miami Dolphins, who are 6th and 7th, are 13th. So within the upcoming weeks, we could potentially see something, especially with the Bills going up against the Buccaneers, who not a lot of people have them winning. Mike, let me, and someone just asked something, which I think is, I was actually going to go along the lines of something like this, but you kind of beat me to it. Isn't it kind of crazy that somehow, with everything that happened, AJ Brown going down, Julio going down, Derrick Henry going down, them getting Adrian Peterson for literally a cup of coffee, isn't it low-key wild that they're still somehow at the number 2 seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. Because my number 1 thing was I never trusted Ryan Tannehill to lead this team. I always thought it was Derrick Henry. He's proven a lot of people wrong. That's all I'll really say on that. I'm
free Ryan Tannehill. Free Ryan Tannehill. Right there. I like Ryan Tannehill. I genuinely believe that, do I think that he can, be an MVP candidate? No. I don't think that. But I do think that he could hold it down. Now I don't have them winning the going on a crazy playoff run.
Right.
But at the same time, Julio's coming back, which gives him a nice target, which, Julio's still Julio.
Right.
It's not prime Julio, but it's still a Julio that's better than a lot of the receivers in the NFL. Everyone keep it above.
Right.
So, but sis, let me ask you, the Bills right now, they're 7-5. They are the 7th seed. Is it possible that they lose to the Buccaneers and end up falling out of the top 7 seeds in the AFC?
You said what, Pride? I'm sorry. Pride, you said what?
I hear you loud and clear, sis. I hear you loud and clear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought I heard what you said, but I don't think I did. You should say it again.
Yeah,
So
same.
the Bills
Uh-huh.
are 7-5, right? They're 7th in the AFC. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If they lose to the Buccaneers,
Right.
the Colts are on a bye week. That means the Bills and Colts will both be 7-6.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this lays the groundwork for the Bills to slide out of the top 7 seeds in the AFC?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do y'all so disrespectful?
I mean,
Free Josh Allen. God damn, bro. This is just a free me episode.
listen, they are not who we thought they were. Like, let's just keep it 1,000. Like, we thought the Bills would be a lot better team than what they have shown us in recent weeks, and they have not been that. They've underperformed. They've underachieved. It just is what it is. What reason do we have to trust the Bills?
Right.
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs.
I mean, what have they been doing though? What have they been doing? Are they winning games?
Ain't no way, no how we finna have any.
They were supposed to win the division. What are they doing right now? The lowly Patriots are at the top of the.
Don't do us like that. Time out. Don't. Whoa. Flag on the play. Hold on.
No. Let's be honest. Like the Patriots been squeaking by wins. They ain't been like blowing people out or nothing crazy. They've been squeaking by wins.
A win. First of all, a win is a win. That's number one. And number two, we not lowly. It's our defense that's low. Bro, we got a top 2 defense in the league.
I'm just saying that the consensus was that the Bills were supposed to run away with this division.
You know what?
They're not doing that. So
I hope. Sis, who's your favorite team?
I'm a Colts fan. So
oh my God, I hope. I'm pulling up the Colts schedule right now. I am pulling the schedule up right now. Because I know for a fact, I know. Okay, so you play us on the 18th. Okay, that's a Saturday night game.
You saw what we did to Lamar Jackson. Don't get this work. Don't get this work.
Look here. Look, listen, brother. Listen, the Colts, it's kind of how apropos because the Colts have a horseshoe, which is a symbol of luck, which is what y'all gonna need if you're gonna beat the greatest head coach in the game, led by that dude, at Buffalo. He threw for over 67%. We're not going to talk about how many times he threw the ball. We're not going to talk about that.
How many times did he throw the ball?
We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to
Thank you. They're going to slide Mac Jones' ass. We're going to slide his ass.
Hey, look, bro, I'm telling you this right now. Right now, I genuinely believe I still have the Bills in the playoffs.
My team fucking sucks.
The Bills sucks?
No, my team.
Bears.
Oh, yeah, no, your team is the 14th seed. That's and look how deep we're in. I just want to say one thing real quick, right?
Fire Nagy.
I just want to say 100%. Now we there with you. I just want to say one thing, right? We are what? How deep are we in the season? What, about 12, 13 weeks?
Yep, somewhere in there.
Right? In that 14, right? So we're entering week 14. The Houston Texans, who are 2-10, have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. Yet the 1-10-1 Detroit Lions, like Mike said earlier, still have a chance. Now, in terms of the chances actually working out in their favor,
weak ass NFC.
God bless them.
It's a weak ass NFC.
Oh my God, it's brutal. It is brutal.
I don't think anybody in the NFC has been eliminated yet.
No, the only person that's been eliminated is an AFC team, and that's the Texans, and I think they're the AFC South.
Yeah.
So they're the only team right now who's been eliminated. Somehow the Jets, the Jags are still in contention. The Bears are somehow in contention.
Let's go, Justin.
God bless this country. Now you want the red rifle. Pew pew. Looking over on the NFC side.
Pride? Nope. They were like, you know what? Justin's ribs are cracked, but he's looking good to go. So he's going to play against Green Bay this week. He's going to probably break something, and I'm going to break something.
And I don't understand that because it's like you guys aren't going to make the playoffs, so y'all might as well just keep the kid healthy, have him relax, let him get healthy, and when he's healthy, then put him back out there. But
that's what I said, but all the homies called me crazy. I said he has experience now. Just vibe out. Fuck it. I wouldn't even play Andy. Put in Foles. I could give a fuck. Put in Nagy. I don't give a fuck.
Put no quarterback. Do what the Broncos did. Just put a wide receiver out there. Put Allen Robinson out there.
I'll fucking do it. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it. Do a fan raffle, right? Yeah,
I'll do
and
it.
the winner gets to be the quarterback, right?
I'll do it. I promise you I'll do it.
You just gotta sign a waiver, boy, because
I'll throw that bitch 3 times.
I'm telling you, you better sign a waiver.
I'm left-handed. I ain't throwing that bitch. I ain't
straight up handoff. I'm handing off, and I'm not even doing an RPO. If they call RPO, I'm doing it right now. I'm snapping it. I'm immediately
straight sweeps, bro.
Bro, 100%. David Montgomery is gonna get he gonna have a career high in touches.
Man, he gonna
get tired, and I'm not even subbing him out. He gonna be. I gotta go back.
I'm audibling every play though.
100%. I'm gonna tell him stay here. But
yeah, I'm handing the ball out to everybody. We doing the little trick player if we gotta do it. I'm handing it off.
I'm telling this right now.
When Nagy says some shit, y'all heard that.
Kill every play.
Listen, if Nagy says something to me, I'm turning into Peyton Manning. No,
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be in the huddle. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, how are you? Did you guys see the Patriots game? You saw how they ran the same play 4 times in a row? All right. Halfback blast on 3. Ready, break. What are we doing after that? Halfback blast on 3. Ready, break. Like,
God.
That's straight gonna be me. And David Montgomery is gonna be so tired. I'm gonna be like, bro, this is your play. He's gonna be like, do you have awareness? No. He's like, motherfucker, it's 3rd and 22. All right. We're on our own 15-yard line. And bitch, like, go for it. He's gonna do it, get stopped, and I'm gonna be all right, run the same play. Fam, I went nowhere, bro. It's 4th down. We're in our own territory. I'm sorry. Mama ain't raising no bitches out here. Right. But in terms of the NFC, Arizona Cardinals are at 1. The Packers are at 2. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sorry, said that a little wrong. They're 3. Dallas at 4. The LA Rams at 5. Washington Football Team at 6. God bless them. And the San Francisco 49ers at 7. And they have a couple bubble teams. The Vikings at 8 and the Eagles at 9. Both are 6 and 7. And then the Carolina Panthers at 10, the Falcons at 11, and the Saints at 12. And they are all 5 and 7. I'm not even going to go bother that because then it's the Giants. They have no shot. Bears, no shot. Seattle, no shot. Lions, come on now. All right. This is the NFC. This is the NFC Houston Texans. Bro. Mike, what was the odds again, Mike? Say it one more time.
1 in 2 trillion.
Like, come on, bro. I can't even count to that. Like, do better. Come on. Like, my guy. All right. I start stuttering after 12. Okay. Like, after 12, I'm like 13. Like, okay. I'm asking you questions because I don't know. All right. Now you tell me, talking about trillions? I'm good. Mike, do you think I'm gonna give you the Vikings and the Eagles, right? Do you believe one of these two teams can slide in there and knock the Niners out of the 7th seed?
Yeah. I think the Vikings could realistically. And I hate to say that because a 1 in 2 trillion chance team like the Lions beat you. But that's one of those losses that I think makes your season and turns it around because it's like, all right, well, we fucked up. And it's definitely something. Dalvin Cook realized they fucked up and with a torn labrum rushed over 200 yards and didn't give a single fuck. Didn't give a single fuck. He was like, Kirk Cousins, suck my load. I'm doing this. You're done. Like, over with. And it's exactly
I think after Dalvin Cook blew his load, I think Kirk Cousins helped him clean it. Like, that's how dominant, like, Dalvin Cook was.
And he said, how you like that? Just like he did back in
Washington. You like that?
Yeah, you like that? I bet he did. But it's definitely a situation, though. Elijah Mitchell is now out. You know, he has his whatever is going on with him for the 3rd, 4th time this season. They're running back. Fucking me in fantasy for the last week. Thanks again, Elijah. But it's a situation, though, where you don't have a run game, though. You really don't. Not a single soul. And that's been the problem all year. Now Minnesota doesn't really have one either, and neither does the Eagles. But now that Dalvin's balling, they do have a run game, and they have a plan now, and it's Dalvin, and then Justin and Adam and all those other guys, everyone but Kirk involved. Now that's my biggest thing right now is I think if the Bears have a shot to beat Green Bay. And it's one of those games where this is one of the games where we would beat them because, the season's already fucking over. When it matters, we lose, but when it doesn't, we win. But it's weird. But it's definitely a chance to where I think when you look at the strength of the schedule, we do have to play Minnesota twice, I believe the Bears do. So that's definitely going to come into question is, can they beat the Bears twice? I think they can. Can they beat the Lions again? I think they can. They didn't beat them the first time. You better beat them the fucking second time. So, you have to play the Lions. You have to bear the Bears twice without Khalil Mack, without Akeem Hicks. Justin Fields is banged up. Really don't have anything going offensively. I think they could win a lot of games for the rest of the season, whereas the Eagles, I think, are just kind of hanging out, just happy to be there, But I think the Vikings have come a long way.
All right, real quick. I'm gonna go with the Eagles, bro. Let me do that. Let me go. Matter of fact, I think both. I think by the end of the season, because the 6 and 7 seeds are both tied at 6 and 6. So Washington Football Team and the Niners are 6 and 6. I genuinely believe by the end of the year it's going to be flipped. I think it's going to be the Eagles and Vikings taking their spot. In terms of you said the rushing for the Eagles, I disagree with you. I think they have the rushing. They lead the league in rushing yards, rushing attempts, and I think they're second in rushing touchdowns. Yeah, they're second in rushing touchdowns. But the thing is, when it comes to the Eagles,
that's Jalen though.
It's everyone. They do kind of what the Niners did a couple years back. It's a running team by committee. It's not like you have a Dalvin Cook who's your best.
Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, the list goes on.
Exactly. It's kind of everyone. Everyone. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think anybody on the Eagles, which is kind of amazing, I'm going to say this, they lead the league in rushing yards, but not a single one of them has recorded a 100-yard game.
No. I don't even think any of them ever were 500 yards.
So it's kind of crazy. It kind of shows you how everyone is kind of, they're all there. But I genuinely believe the Vikings and the Eagles will be able to catch up.
Right.
Obviously, with the Vikings beating the Steelers, which was hilarious, by the way. I believe they're kind of on the uptick. Look, man. Ben Roethlisberger, to me,
is washed.
He delusional. Shorty, he not washed. He dirty. Bro, he dirty. He dirty. Because calling him washed gives some sort of implication that there's something there. Bro, he is just. Homeboy said this is my last year in Pittsburgh, but I'm still going to play. Play? You mean you gonna play video games, right? Oh, bro, I'm starting to leave. Look here, bro. Motherfuckers not even starting you in fantasy. All right, so get out of here with all this foolishness, bro. Okay, you old as what? You old as dirt. And this is the problem I have with him, bro. Peyton Manning knew it was time to go. Yep. Drew Brees knew it was time to go. Eventually, Tom Brady, he's gonna know it's time to go.
Philip Rivers was one of those guys I don't think knew it was time either.
He didn't know. That's what I'm saying. Like he is becoming the new Philip Rivers. Like when Philip Rivers went to Indiana,
it was bad.
To Indy, he was like, yeah.
Do not remind me. Okay.
He was like, oh yeah, we got it. I'm like, you got what? Another kid on the way? Like, fuck out of here, kid. Like do better, relax, breathe, papa. Like, you're not that guy. Tranquilo, relájate, go back home and don't come back because ain't no way you sit here and tell me, yeah, I'm still that guy. What? No, you're a guy, brother. You're a guy, 100%, bro. And I can tell you what, with all them kids you've been popping into this world. So you a guy, you working down there, but a football player, you smoking. And I'm telling you, bro, I'm looking at Ben Roethlisberger the same way. Like, bro, you really can't see it's time. You really can't. You know what I mean? Like, bro, every single time he went down, I thought he was gonna be injured.
Right.
Persist. For the NFC, do you believe that the Arizona Cardinals will be the number one seed at the end of the season? Or do you think, because even though they're 10-2, there is the Packers who are 9-3, the Buccaneers who are 9-3, and the Rams, even though they're a little iffy, they're 8-4, and I believe they're the Monday night game. The Cardinals and the Rams, I believe they're the Monday night game. They're either the Sunday night game or the Monday night game. I know they're one of the primetime games. But do you believe that the Arizona Cardinals will still be? Yo, look at him. Look at him.
Jonathan.
Hey,
do you think the Cardinals can still be the number one seed, or do you think the Packers can take it, Tampa can take it, or how do you feel about that?
I think the Cardinals are still going to be the number one seed. I think their schedule fares for that to happen. I know that they play their upcoming game is the Rams. I think they beat the Rams because, like you said, probably the Rams have been iffy the past couple of weeks. They're still trying to kind of implement Odell Beckham and solidify what his role is going to be for that team. But I definitely think that game will be competitive. I think that the Rams getting that win under their belt really helped them because they kind of, even though it was against the Jaguars and they were supposed to win that game, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were able to, work on some things and kind of try some things out and see what works, see what works, see what doesn't, as far as it comes with Odell Beckham. So I think that definitely is something that helped them to get that game under their belt. But I think just the way that Arizona's been playing, they're slowly but surely getting everybody back now. You know what I'm saying? They're still clicking. They really didn't have much of a drop off when they started getting injuries here and there.
Mhm.
They were still, pulling off some pretty impressive wins without Kyler Murray. So that's always helpful when you can lose a major component of your team like that and still be able to string together a couple of wins.
Lost D-Hop too.
Yeah, and D-Hop too. So that impresses me. So I still think that they end up being a number 1 seed, but this division is going to be competitive when it comes to the playoffs. We are going to see some otherworldly football by the time the playoffs come around, because that division right now, anybody honestly can take it. I think going into the playoffs, Arizona will be number 1, but who's to say that they stay that way, or they even make it out of the division, honestly and truly, because it's just so competitive right now.
Right.
So real quick, let me just run by the schedule. So the Arizona Cardinals, obviously they have the Rams. After that, Lions, Colts, which they're going to spank the dog shit out the Colts.
Wow.
Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're so petty.
So obviously they just came off, a pounding. They destroyed the Colts. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 2 weeks ago. My bad. How petty of me. How petty of me to reach back so far.
That's so petty.
But tomorrow they play the Bills. Then after that, the Saints, Panthers, Jets, then Panthers again. The Packers. Excuse me. Let's see. I just want to double check something. Oh, they had the fortunate of not having to waste their time with the Colts. They played the Bears.
Wow.
Then after that, Ravens, Browns, Vikings, and then Lions, and then the Rams. They're ending it.
Isn't it fucking week 14? How many games are left, bro?
Like 5. For some teams, 5. Others 4.
God damn.
Yeah. And the Rams,
I thought we were wrapping this up.
I thought so too, but
I wanted to end.
The Rams beat the shit out of the Colts, so now they play the
You know
Cardinals,
what,
the
Brian?
Seahawks, Vikings, Ravens, and then the 49ers. So with all that being said, Mike, do you agree with Sensei? You think the Cardinals will be the number 1 seed?
Yeah, sure. I guess it's up in the air. A month can change a lot, because you look at it from October and you look at the Rams, and then you look at them in November, and it's a totally different conversation of what that defense is, and getting Odell and Von Miller was going to take them over the top, and it's done nothing but not them being the reason that they broke down, but since that Madden fucking trade, you literally have done nothing.
In a week. That's fucking wild.
Right. It was fucking nuts. So it's definitely a situation, though, where I look at it and I think the Cards just are clicking at the right time. I don't see anybody stepping over that. I think Green Bay could do it. They always have the strength of schedule wise because they suck Aaron Rodgers' load, but it is what it is. I'll say that Green Bay has never had a top 10 hard schedule ever in their life. So it is what it is.
You're not allowed to talk about that, Mike.
For whatever fucking reason, the Bears have to play fucking everybody and anybody that's a playoff team this year. So it is what it is. And we were 8-8, so that makes zero fucking sense. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think Green Bay has a chance to do it. Again, there's 4 to 5 games left. Anything can happen. But if I had to put money on somebody, I'd say Arizona finishes off strong, especially with the way James Conner's been playing.
Yeah. If I got to put money, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, I know. It's easy to forget about the greatest quarterback to have greatest college.
Nah, but Pride, it's not even like that though. It's not even.
Here he goes.
It is no Pride, like being completely real. NFC, if you're a fan of a team in the NFC,
it's tight.
It's not even that. You just forget that the Bucs were even in the NFC because they just never were relevant. So even last year, I was like, "Oh, who's going against Brady?" And they were like, "In the NFC," and they were like, "Brady's in the NFC," and I was like, "Brady's in the NFC." I was like, "The Bucs are in the NFC," and they're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "My bad." Like I forgot.
You really forget about them. No, you're right. You really forget. Look here, I make this joke.
It's not even disrespectful. It's just like
it's just like the Buccaneers never been. Look, I never in my life cared to learn how to spell Buccaneers.
I write Bucks.
I used to just write Bucks.
Yeah, I still do.
Ever since when Tom Brady left, that's when I learned how to spell Buccaneers. Like Buck, like that's where I learned how to spell Buccaneers. Like no lie.
I'm still struggling.
right? You know what I mean? Like, bro, look, bro. If we're talking about irrelevant teams, bro, I could barely spell Lions. You feel me? I just say, "Ayo, the Detroit Roars." Like, bro, like, it's tough out here, bro. It's tough. Right. I will say this: I do think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do have a chance, and I get what you're saying with the Arizona Cardinals having, you know, an easy kind of path, right? But you know, after the Bills, they're playing a quarterbackless Saints, the Panthers, who somehow have a shit ton of quarterbacks that none are the answer. Then they play the Jets, go back to a quarterbackless team to play the Panthers, who again have a lot of quarterbacks and none can do shit.
Right. All the quarterbacks in the world.
Right. Like, you got every quarterback. And by the way, I'm gonna say it one more time, free Sam Darnold. Right there. And the thing is like I used to like see, Sam Darnold's not the problem.
I don't know.
He's looking like the problem.
I wouldn't say, you know, free Sam Darnold, but I also wouldn't call him a problem.
I mean, for me,
Sam's ass. Like, that's just it. But he's all right.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. But yeah, I got the Buccaneers. But like you did say, Mike, you said the same thing about the Rams. And all of a sudden, winning ain't in the vocabulary. By the way, I believe tonight they are announcing the Heisman Trophy winner.
It'll be some bullshit.
I think Jim Harbaugh just said Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, which is not as far-fetched as people make it out to be. But that's another conversation for another day.
Right.
Mike, sis, appreciate y'all being here. It has been your boy Pride. Thank you for being with us. This has been another episode of ASAP Vibes. We'll be back here Tuesday. We'll see y'all then. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.